need to solve our problems as Africans.
Of course.
And Africanism is in us. And Africa growing is our business. Because you're either working for a business or you are running a business. So left, right, center, we cannot run away from business, entrepreneurship.
Correct.
It is the soul of economic growth in the entire world. Failure is part of success. Failure is like one of the ingredients for your growth and your success. For you to achieve great things, you have to do things that outlive you.
Yeah.
From the heart, some things which don't even come from you, that comes from deep within. Not every person who undergoes the training of entrepreneurship become an entrepreneur. You see, in Africa, people register businesses. Out there, people register businesses legally. You know, they say knowledge is power, but it is not the knowledge that is powerful. It is the applied knowledge that is powerful. There are some people we look at and we say they are complete, but it's the broken pieces of them that has made them complete.
Yeah.
They speak from authority because their pains they have grown in.
Hey, hello there. This is Accounting Girl. Welcome to the Accounting Girl Show. This is Ruth Nyandoya. Karibu sana to the show. Today we are honored to have one of the best, I don't know how I can say, but he's best in terms of businesses, investment, encouraging young people. So without further ado, I'll be introducing him to you. He'll be telling us who he is, what he does, where he is, where he's going. I don't know. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Asante sana. Thank you for having me in the Accounting Girl Show. I'm honored to have a sit down with you today, discuss matters, business, investment, and how we can empower our young people.
Thank you very much. And if you can just tell us your name, what you do, and what you have been up to in this town.
Great. Brian Elijah is my name. That is what they call us, or that is the name we are given when we are born. But as we grow up, we get to now understand who we really are and where we come from. For me, I identify as a Christian, born of a Christian family with Christian values. And I subscribe to that lineage because I'm proud to be called a servant in my Father's kingdom.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
More on that, I am also a transformational coach, a business strategist, as well as a trainer, a growth trainer. And majorly currently, I am the president of CTN Africa, a youth empowerment organization that is focusing on equipping young people with entrepreneurship and leadership skills, because we need to solve our problems as Africans.
Of course.
And Africanism is in us, and Africa growing is our business. So we must partake in it. And I'm very passionate about helping young people in the area of entrepreneurship and leadership, because you're either working for a business or you are running a business. So left, right, center, we cannot run away from business, entrepreneurship.
Correct.
It is the soul of economic growth in the entire world.
Wow. I know we are going to have a very fruitful discussion. Accounting Girl Show is all about business, is all about encouraging young people, and we are so happy to host you. We are so happy to have this conversation with you, and we believe that a viewer of or a supporter of Accounting Girl Show is going to be impacted in one way or another in either starting a business, thinking of investing into a business, or rather helping businesses run successfully. So you've mentioned that you are a lot of things, but you've mentioned about CTN.
Yes.
And I know before CTN came to be CTN, there's a journey.
Yes.
behind it. If you can just, in the shortest time possible, if you can just tell us what made you come up with CTN? What inspired you to come up with CTN?
Thank you very much. Sometimes we find ourselves in a fix because there are stories we can't give in less than a minute, but we try our level best to do it in less than a minute.
Yeah.
I sit here because I am a product of failure. Because for me, failure is part of success. Failure is like one of the ingredients for your growth and your success. Before CTN, I can honestly tell you I've been through the best part of life, and that is failing.
You're the first person to admit that you're a product of failure, or maybe few of the people who admit that they're products of failure.
We have to, because in life, very few people are lucky to say, I am successful because I got somebody who just lifted me up, or I was born with a silver plate, a golden spoon, and everything was handed over to me. Most of the people you see today who can give you a count of the successful story, that you never miss the aspect of failing. And that is why, for me, it is very key. It's something that I love talking about because sometimes I listen to people with scars, because at least it's like the story that we are told. If you're selling me real honey, show me. We need to see that the bees have stung you.
Yeah.
You get that?
Yeah,
that is the only time I'm like, this person is selling real honey, not one that is manufactured in a laboratory. So if I am sitting here to talk about empowering young people, I can't speak from a point of just reading books, from a point of just collecting data, and I speak from a point of facts of things I've tried, things I've seen work, things I've not seen work.
Yes.
And I believe that is what now gives us credibility beyond and above just normal papers that we get from school.
Of course.
To stand or sit or be in front of people and tell them, hey, I know there is a problem where you are headed.
Yeah.
Not because I'm seeing it out of experience. And I'm not saying it because I want to protect you. I'm saying it because I know it will mess you up. But there's this alternative road that can get you to your destination.
Yeah.
All right.
At least you're like a litmus paper.
Yes. So to give a journey of it, I started business at a very, very young age. Very young age, because all my life, I always said I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Wow. And I've run... let me say I've been a farmer, a small-scale farmer. After I finished primary school, my first was just get behind my mom's small farm, and I planted some carrots, of which they never performed well. I came to understand because of the soil. So I can say that was my first, one of the failures in business. But after that, I started to, the Sukuma Wiki. What do we call them? The kales. And they performed well, they blossomed well, and I could get a bunch of them, sell to some local, retailers. From there to high school, I used to buy watches, sell them sometimes, buy spectacles, because, me, I had problems with the eyes. So whenever I go to school, I have my spectacles in the casing. And then I have others I've won that I've bought. When I get to school, I'll sell them to somebody who wants to go for a function, and they want to look, in high school and all that.
Yeah.
So for me, I was in business. Sometimes I could buy biscuits and sell. In the evening, there's a tea or coffee that used to be given to either Form 4s or Form 3s. And I sell to them, and they could buy it. So I used to make some money, and I could learn 1 or 2, 3 things of doing business. After that, I came outside here. I ventured into business as well. I got into a direct selling business, and it really taught me a lot, because now I was dealing with a lot of people, a lot of frustrations, a lot of rejections. But my real moment is when I first started my first company. That time when you're like, now I've bought my first car, I have some money in the bank account. You feel now, let me go to the suburbs, the Silicon Valley of Africa, Westlands, start a company there. I branded my office, paid legal fees. I hired a team of almost 18 people, and I felt like, wow.
Very ambitious.
I dreamed very big. I always say, if you can dream 10 times bigger or if you can see your vision as big as it can get, even beyond your imaginations, then you're still not ready for global growth.
And out of curiosity,
Yes.
before we continue, at what age are we talking about you dreaming this big to go into the suburbs?
I was 19 years.
Wow.
I was 19 years. I had just clocked my 19. I celebrated my 18th birthday by buying my first car. And my 19th birthday was me starting my first company registered legally under the jurisdictions of Kenya, you know. And you know, I always had this mindset of leverage. If you want to get things done, hire as many people as you can. So I went in with that mindset. But honestly, I can tell you, I didn't finish with the team within 3 months. I was already choked.
Oh my.
I'm like, will I really be able to pay these people? So my first heavy downpours started in my first 3 months. Because my first 3 months, I can honestly tell you, I served only one client. And that client actually, I think, paid out of the aspect that he had helped brand the office. So he was like, hey, you guys, you're young. And I really want to know how you guys got here. And so that is how we got our first client in our first 3 months. So we were operating out of cash from my own pocket, the savings I had. And honestly, I can tell you, it reached a point I just had to sell my car to, get the business running. And it was not easy. Letting wanasemanga, your first car is like your first wife.
Yeah.
Your
Have
first
to feed.
love.
Yeah.
Letting it go is not easy. So that was my first, the time I felt like I'm going on a downhill. And honestly, after I sold my first car and paid the bills, paid people, that is when things spiraled very fast now, downhill.
Oh, very fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I managed to sustain the business for almost a year, but reached a point I had to close because I had gone into debts, bills, and all that. I also had taken a bank loan that I was servicing. I can honestly tell you, it wasn't easy. But I can say that is the period I understood key things about running a business, not from a perspective of just being a salesperson or just, thinking that you have a good idea or the best idea or dreaming big.
Yeah.
No, that is the time I learned that business is built of structures and systems for it to function well.
Yeah.
And that now took me back to the drawing board. It took me almost 3 years trying to restructure, refigure things out. Even by the time I was coming up with CTN, because CTN is a rebranding I did for an organization I had started when I was in high school called AFLEO, which was AfriLink Empowerment Organization. So because I'd stayed for so long without running that organization, because I was now into sales, I was into, trying to run my own company and all those things. So when I said I'm going to build my businesses, but at the same time I have a calling, I have something I need to serve my generation with. Yeah. That is when I rebranded to CTN Africa.
And before we get to CTN,
yes.
I want to understand what made you understand like the business that you had started in Westlands. What made you understand that there was a problem, and how did you realize the problems?
Number one, clearly today I know I had no customers. I had not refined my business. I had not refined my target market. Because you see, business is about profitability.
Definitely.
It's about sales.
Yeah.
Unless you are running a charity, for CTN, it's a different way of measuring impact or measuring results. But for business, money, sales, cash flow.
Yeah.
Without cash flow, you have no business.
Yeah. Poor cash flow management.
Yeah.
You have poor cash flow.
You have no business. So that is the first thing I came to learn. Like, there was no cash flow. There were no customers. Who was I really serving? By the time I was structuring now the business to give me profits, I was already deep in debts. I was already, you're already exhausted, tired, stressed, pressured. And the people you're working with also get tired.
Yeah.
So I ended up losing the entire team that I had. Even those people who were my directors, my partners in business, they ended up not leaving. And funny enough, when they leave to start with the same ideas now that you've structured that's supposed to be profitable for your business.
Oh, wow. Okay, now you've learned your lessons, and there's now this new baby CTN. So just explain to us how CTN is working, how is what is it doing to impact young people?
Yes.
It's because CTN is all about youth
Yes.
empowerment.
Yes.
Yeah, just give us just a preview of what CTN is about.
All right. Now, as an entrepreneur or as a person who likes doing things from a practical point of view, before I talk about CTN, it's good that I also say I run 2 other businesses that are currently profitable for me, that are keeping me going in this city.
Wow.
I have a digital marketing and human resource company that I'm in partnership with other people that we are running. And I also run a technology conglomerate that is currently pushing a wellness brand to the market that sells wellness and nutritional products through e-commerce and affiliate marketing and mortar and brick retail kind of setup. So we have that as business, because when I talk about empowering young people, I'm not coming in as a motivational speaker. I'm coming in as a young person who is practically into businesses, growing businesses that are profitable, businesses that I look at taking at the global stages. That is why whenever I talk about CTN, to be specific, it's very dear to my heart, because this is something that was born out of the conversations I've had with young people, out of the problems I've seen in the continent of Africa. And that is when I talk about empowering young people in the aspect of entrepreneurship and leadership. Because as I said earlier, CTN Africa is about empowering young people, giving them capacity, enabling them acquire and mobilize resources to get business going, to get organizations running. CTN runs on a key framework called FEMIC.
Okay.
FEMIC stands for, it's an initial for these keywords I'm going to mention. Number 1, F stands for fellowship. As I said, we are building faith-centered organizations. So fellowship is where we have gatherings, where we remind ourselves of our faith and the principles that guard our faith, and those principles that we use the faith we have to run businesses. Okay? I've learned about the history of America for quite some time, and they always give, you see, God bless America. Every president always has that saying, God bless America. All right?
Yeah.
And they're coming from an aspect where they build the foundations of their country with Christian values. Biblical principles. And I also come from a Christian background where I've grown up to study the Bible, being taught the Christian values and the principles that I've picked from the Bible. So whenever we coming together to unite, there is something that can unite us. And now that is our faith. We believe in the supreme creator of everything. And he created us and gave us everything. I got the motivation from the Bible. That's Romans 8:37, that talks about we are more than conquerors through Christ who strengthened us. That is where the word Conquerors Time Network comes in, now CTN Africa. All right? Now, understanding the person who has given us victory is now where it takes us to the Creator. All right? He who created us, in as much as we disobeyed him and the relationship we had with him was fractured, he still had a plan to still bring us back to him and have a fellowship and have a relationship. And that is why when you talk about God, Christ becomes the center of our connection. All right? And that is one of the things I'm trying to build in our people, so that as we build anything, whether an organization or a business, anything you want to do, it must be centered on something. We call it the higher purpose. All right? The higher purpose. Because sometimes for you to achieve great things, you have to do things that outlive you.
Yeah.
from the heart, some things which don't even come from you, that comes from deep within. And you see, God lives in us.
Yeah.
How can we activate the power of our Creator in us
In us.
without knowing who He is? You see, you can't know who you are without understanding where you are coming from.
Yes, yes.
Today, if today somebody asks you by the cultural identity, all right, your name probably contains your origin. That is why we hear of Wafula, we hear of Nyamweya, we hear of Mwangi, we hear of Mwende, because that one will identify this person with where they're
We have
coming
the origin.
coming from. Now, a spiritual being living in a human body, a physical body, all right? Your spirit is in you. How can you activate the Creator in you? Because God created you in His own image. So how can you activate that without knowing the center of everything? That is where fellowship comes in. That is what we aim at.
In Femic.
In Femic. All right? That is fellowship. And then we have education. In education is where now we go back to the aspect of entrepreneurship, because in the education framework, we have various things we are doing. We have an academy called the Conquerors Entrepreneurship Academy.
Okay.
All right. And we have a leadership training program. It's an ambassadorial training program for CTN that equips you with communication skills, branding skills, and mobilization skills. And some of these things are qualities of a good leader.
Okay.
All right. A good communicator, a good mobilizer,
Yeah.
their brand speaks for themselves. So that is where we ingrain education and teach education and teach the youths on leadership and entrepreneurship. Then we have M. M is mentorship. All right. We raise young people all the way from junior high schools to high schools to even universities. So we have mentorship programs that cover the areas where we want to mentor young people. That is by bringing the stories of successful people, bringing in people who have succeeded in things they want to pursue, and giving the real account of what they have done, connecting them to the people they need to grow the businesses they have, to mentor them in the aspect of the leadership fields they want to get into, whether you want to scale in the corporate ladder, become the manager, the CEO in a company, you need mentorship.
Yeah.
So we also offer the mentorship in the mentorship framework. All right.
Yeah.
And then we have I, which stands for investment.
Oh.
All right. Our young people always cry. Not even young people, even the old people, they say, I don't have money to start a business. Money is my biggest problem. Capitation. So investment, we have a fund. It's called the Conquerors Youth Fund, that we raise money through the activities we do. Even the educational programs we do, most of the money goes to the youth fund. This youth fund is meant to help the young people during their seed period. There's a period where nobody believes in you.
Yeah.
No matter how good your idea is, nobody believes in you. So there's that period we are like, hey, Ruth, we believe in your idea. Even we don't understand it, but at least because you have undergone through our education program, we can bet on you and say, hey, let's try out this idea that you have. Let's try to structure it. Let's try to systemize it.
Okay.
And in that way, we try to use the smallest resources we have, in terms the capitation that we have, to help you get this business running. All right.
Okay.
Probably maybe acquire your first resources to get it started. Maybe it is to help you. There's that period, incubation period, where you don't have customers yet. You're trying to get customers and you need to eat.
I always say that when you start a business, you need like 3 years to be able to say, okay, this business can work.
So that is one of the things we are looking at least this seed period, before you secure your first angel investor, before you secure the first people who believe in you and now come in with serious capitation to scale this business. In this case, there's the period where everything is uncertain, when nobody is like, when you're still building your mock-up, when you're still building your MVP, the minimum viable product or service. So that is the period we use these funds. For us, we do the grants method. All right. In this way, to help you at least grow without pressure.
Okay.
So as we are growing, we are building under that framework. All right.
Okay.
And then lastly, we have charity, because we believe in as much as we do everything we do, there are people who are less privileged in society. Even the young people who cannot be in a position even to fend for themselves. You know, there are people, before you talk to them, you have to help them.
Of course.
There are people literally, all they need first and foremost is food and clothing. All right?
Or
That
else
is why,
or else they'll not listen to you.
before even Jesus talked to the people, he fed them. All right? So there are things also we are aiming to do to make sure that our young people are in an environment where they feel safe, they feel they are catered for, they are cared for, or they are felt, they are heard. All right? So we are also aiming in doing those things to make sure that the organization we are building is a global organization, and making sure that we are helping the young people impactfully. And we are proud of what we do. We are not the only people who do that, but in support with every other person with the same idea across Africa. I know a day will come, we have to unite and make sure that we have shown now this is African, this is the impact you have created.
And because you're also aiming to the same goal,
Exactly.
in empowering the young people.
Exactly.
And you've mentioned about your framework, what you do, what you're aiming to do. I just want to understand about the statistics of the youths that you have been able maybe to help or work with, and how it has impacted them. Is there any youths that were maybe discouraged along the way? What did you do? Something like that.
Yes. You see, along the way, remember I told you, I've been working in businesses, in sales, in marketing, in advertising, even running my own businesses. Before I rebranded AFLEO, that is Afri-Link Empowerment Organization, to CTN Africa, I've always worked with the youths. All right? Even in my sales field, I worked with the youths. I trained them, I empowered them. And I'm happy that today there are a number of them who are successfully running businesses. They are growing their businesses. All right?
Wow.
I can't say that everybody is built for business, because I've had people who come in, they're interested in entrepreneurship, but the inner drive is not there. The desire, the tenacity to run a business is not there. And there are people, I encourage them to work for businesses. You see, God is gracious enough to say they are servants and they are masters. Okay? There are people who are helpers of vision. They are vision carriers. And they are vision bearer. I mean, they are vision helpers. All right?
Yeah.
In a business, the vision bearer is the person with the idea who clearly maps it out, who clearly puts it down and structures it in the simplest way possible, systemizes that idea, and now knows for this idea to work, I need help here, I need help here, I need help here. There are people who are good in just executing instructions.
Okay.
So I've seen young people who are very good in executing instructions, but they are not good in creating
the
ideas, in coming up with the ideas. And I don't blame them. Maybe that is how the world is wired. Simply because for balance to be there, all right?
Yeah.
For balance to be there. You've heard of people say, I remember a story I was reading of some of these, the Enigma, Raila Amolo Odinga, the late, his bodyguards. There is one who passed on earlier, and somebody was saying, when this gentleman gets to heaven, he will tell God, Father, I did my work. I served Raila Amolo Odinga well. And he did his job. He was rewarded. His family lived well. For him, being behind Amolo was his work, was his calling, and he did it well.
He did it dearly.
You see, Amolo was always seen, but you see behind him, the leader, there are people who are making things happen. His security detail, is even people working to make sure he's dressed well, is international coordinators, all those people are helping him. All right.
Yeah.
So sometimes I tend to understand that not every person who undergoes the training of entrepreneurship become an entrepreneur. Because for me, I know and I understand you're either working for a business or you are running a business. So whether you like it or not, if you can't understand entrepreneurship principles, you will have war with your boss.
Of course.
As an entrepreneur, if you cannot understand how business works, you will have war with your employees. But when you understand the entire framework of entrepreneurship, then you can be a better employer and you can be even a better employee. Because for me, I don't look at a business in terms of I employ you, you are my, like, it's like I'm dictating you. No, it's partnership.
Yeah.
This business is giving you value in terms of capital or feeding your family the money that you're getting paid. But you're also giving effort, giving skill, giving time.
Yeah.
You're also giving value. So it is a partnership. So you need to understand business. So for you to have a good relationship even with the employer, because now you can't give your employer pressure. You're not performing and don't to be paid.
Yeah.
You know very well for me to be paid, this business has produced income.
Of course.
In my capacity, what am I doing to make sure the income is there?
And the business is growing. As like, if I was hard in this year, by next year,
Yes.
is the business going down or going up? And am I the one who is making it to grow?
Yes.
Or to fail? Wow, those are good. I'm trying just to look at the flow of, what CTN is doing and to the youths.
Yes.
And how it's opening
Their
their minds in terms of growth, that not everyone can start a business and that not everyone can be employees or can be
employers
in this field. So
but everyone needs to understand
the entrepreneurial
yes
roles.
How does it work? What is my role in this thing? Because you're either in it or you're running it.
Wow. Interesting. And another part that I'm interested in, and I have a question, and it comes to finance.
Yes.
You have mentioned that you have a fund.
Yes.
In CTN.
Yes.
When you bring this entrepreneur, now let's use the word entrepreneur, on board.
Yes.
You've trained them, you've given them the fund. Are you treating the fund as a loan, or you're treating a fund as how do I call it, a grant, or kinda of, like, we've given you this capital, but once the business has grown, we'd want you to pay back this money, whether it has interest or not. So how do you treat that fund so that people or the entrepreneur can be responsible? If I know that there's free money somewhere, nobody will refuse free money.
They will come and eat all of it and disappear.
All of it. So
yes.
How do you ensure that the fund is protected in a way that it's doing what is supposed to do, what is intended to do? Now,
one of the things we do before even we talk about funding a business is make sure that this business has undergone our vetting process. And that is why, first and foremost, somebody goes through our Entrepreneurship Academy. All right? He's a member of CTN and has gone through the Entrepreneurship Academy. And we are rest assured we have had this business idea. All right? The first thing we do, especially to starters, there are people already in business. They just need to understand 1 or 2, 3 things, and they're already running a business. And there are people who they now want to start. All right? And those are the people we are majorly bringing in. So apart from just training them and funding them, we usually have an incubation hub where we get this person to operate in the first 3 months. That is the period they are putting their structures right. Their idea is well thought, it is well laid. There is the aspect of operations, to make sure they understand the operations of whatever they are doing, either a service or a product that they are putting to the market. There is the aspect of marketing. How exactly are your target audience knowing and understanding your product? How are you advertising? How are you marketing? How are they getting the information that will help them make an informed decision to buy or use your services or products? There is the aspect of finance. What are your financial structures? Do you understand the basic accounting principles? Are you in a position even to generate a book? We call them the bookkeeping, the aspect of your financial statement, the aspect of your balance sheet. Do you have that? The cash flow, your money in, your money out, the discipline of understanding business money, your money, and other people's money. Because if you are doing products, you have suppliers. You need to understand there's money going out. If you're doing marketing and you're using third party, there are people helping you. You need to pay them. There is your money, that is the profit you make. And there is business money, the money that is needed for this business to effectively operate. So are you in a position to separate these three and understand business money ni hii, other people's money ni hii? Maybe you have 1 or 2, 3 debts here and there. All right. Are you in a position to understand how to put that aside? And then there is your money. Do you just take the profit and say, now this is my money? Or are you the person who knows in business, most of the time you get paid last?
Of course.
And sometimes you will not be paid at all.
For even a year.
Yes. So how can you put yourself in the business and operate in the framework of the business money? That is putting yourself as an employee of the business. Not you being, most of the small business operated, the boss is above the business. His needs comes first. But somebody who is going to build a global business, he is catered for by that business. So are you able to, what do we call it? Unaweza finya zile desires zako. Can you suppress your desires to the extent that you can just operate with a fixed budget? The one that even is the little one, just to get the business running. So that you keep the profits aside. And after 6 months, you can say, these are my profits. And it's there. And you say, maybe you took part of the profits back to the business because the business needed more for either product expansion, 1 or 2, 3 things. But the most important thing is helping them understand the frameworks of money. All right? And that is when we also introduce them to understanding legal structures. You see, in Africa, people register businesses. Out there, people register businesses legally. Global businesses have legal structures. That is why you will hear, this is our business lawyer. Because they understand for this business to operate effectively, there are jurisdictions of the land. If I'm taking a loan from someone, if somebody is investing in my business, either as a loan, either is taking shares, can the lawyer help me put in place an understanding between this person? If this person is offering advice and money, is it written? Have we agreed on those frameworks? If this person is coming in to work and put money in the business, is he coming in as a director? Because if I'm working in your business and I'm an investor in your business, probably I'm also part of the business as a director.
Of course.
All right? So all those frameworks have to be understood and be put in place. You don't need to get the business big for you to set those things in place. All right? For you to open a legal file, how much does it take? Because before we invest this money from this fund, we need to make sure all these structures are in place. So that, because the money is not brand's money, this is money that sometimes people have entrusted us. Donors have said, hey, you're doing good work here. We are giving you this 3 million, this 10 million. You continue helping these young people structure their businesses and grow. So at the end of the day, we have to structure a way that this money will help them. And at the same time, money keeps on coming back to the fund for sustainability of other businesses to be supported. So we usually do loans and we do grants. Okay. There are places where we look at a business and we don't expect that business to pay back. Okay? But all you want is pay forward. And that is one of the things we teach them through the fellowship that we do. You know, the center where Jesus gave us everything. All right? And he just expects us to love each other, help each other, and grow. He does not expect you to go to heaven and take $1 million to him and say, thank you, I've paid you for what you did for me. No. All right?
Of
So
course.
there are aspects where you're going to be part of us. Someday you're going to be one of the people we come and say, hey, I'm going to give you 10 million for that, for you to continue supporting the businesses. So there are places we give, and we only teach our people to have the heart of paying forward and reimbursing back to the community to keep supporting other people. And there are places we give loans. All right? We support you, you grow to these stages, and these are going to pay back. All right? And the beauty of it is we are also still structuring our legal frameworks when it comes to that.
Okay.
All right?
It's very key.
Nothing comes fully formed. So there are things also we are learning from those people who are ahead of us, who have advanced. I have American mentors who sometimes will tell me, hey, these things work. I have African mentors. I have Kenyan mentors who are in business. I can honestly say some of them I have not met them, but I watch them. I listen to their podcasts. I take notes. In fact, sometimes I transcribe what they're saying and put it on paper. Because I know the day I meet them, I'll not tell them, hey, you've been teaching me
At least
passively.
you can show them.
Yeah, this is what you've taught me, because I value mentorship, whether it is passive or active. Yes.
Wow. So what a beautiful way of putting structures. And I feel so happy that young people are getting solutions to their problems, especially when it comes to them having an idea. Because if you walk on the streets and ask any youth that what is making you not to start a business, the answer will be, I don't have capital. But now the thing that they need to understand, what I'm trying to get from you is, the thing they need to understand is that it's not easy to get also the capital. You have to go through some trainings. You have to go through some mentorship. For that money to come, you need to understand how you're going to utilize the money. So I think we've understood how CTN is working, the foundations, and my encouragement to young people is just to, listen to what people are telling you and try and practice it. Or what do you say?
Of course, you always must have the heart to put into practice what you're learning, because, they say knowledge is power, but it is not the knowledge that is powerful. It is the applied knowledge that is powerful. We have two types of energy. We have static. Is it static and kinetic? Static is
there.
Is there. It does not move. But kinetic is in motion. All right? The kinetic energy is what produces power. All right? So for you to be powerful and to be great, whatever you are learning, you have to put it into practice. You have to use it. All right? We are not lacking mentors. We are not lacking knowledge. It is there. But people also don't have the courage. We are still living in an era where we believe that I have to wait for 10 years. I have to work for 10 years. There's the aspect of trial and error. For me, I'm a product of trial and error. In trial and error, you will fail. So picking the lessons from your failures grows. There is a book written that is Fail Fast, but Fail Forward. All right? It encourages you to fail. Embrace your failures. Every great person can tell you they failed. Not once, not twice. Sometimes 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, there are some people we look at and we see they are complete. But it's the broken pieces of them that has made them complete.
Yeah.
They speak from authority because their pains they have grown in.
Wow. So As a young person, what will limit you from joining CTN? They have everything a young person would want to be, or to is a place where a young person would want to be. If you are employed, you can fit there. If you are unemployed and you want to start a business, you can fit there. If you just finished college, or you're still in college, you're even in grade 7, you can still fit in CTN.
We have mentorships for the grade 7s, you know.
So you can tell us how can someone join CTN? If where can they get you? You just let them know, so that when we are having this discussion, at least when we're saying practice, let them start practicing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, first and foremost, our point of contact is always social media. All right. We have a Facebook presence. You can always follow us at CTN Africa. Even me personally, you can follow me across social media platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, at Brian Elijah. All right. Because when you get me, you get CTN. And we have CTN pages: LinkedIn CTN Africa, Facebook CTN Africa. That is where we update our activities. There are sometimes we hold physical events. We have a monthly gathering called the Conquerors Convergency. It is one of the pilot programs that is currently active, that is running.
Running from where?
We usually do trainings across, or these gatherings across Kenya. We are growing to go to East Africa and Africa at large. But currently, especially those people in Nairobi, we usually have our gathering in CBD, various halls. Majorly, you can get us at CBD Corner House, where we usually operate from. We have our offices in Kasarani, that is Kasarani Equity. That is where we operate from, and that is where we are building the organization from. So for those people who want to physically meet or see us, we have an office in Kasarani Equity. You can inbox us through social media channels, and in this case, we'll be able to direct you how you can now be in physical contact with us, how you can be part of CTN, becoming a member of CTN, how these events we are doing can help you. We have this training we are doing. It's an ambassadorial training that we are doing. It is a 4 weeks training program that we do. And we do it occasionally to make sure that we are equipping the people, first and foremost, with their communication skills, branding skills, at the same time mobilization skills, as part of our leadership capacity building program. Okay. All right. And from there is now also, especially the events we do on a monthly basis, the Conquerors Convergency, where we gather to shape our mindset. Like this year, 2026, we have a theme that is drive your growth. Okay. So we're talking of the factors that needs to be in place for you to grow, from setting the foundation to making sure that you've scaled that growth. So we have those monthly meetings where we teach that. We teach the mindset, alignment, identity aspect, purpose alignment, and growth. So that is where we shape the culture of our young people.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for sharing a lot of knowledge with us and the amazing work that you do at CTN. We just have to grow as young people. We just have to invest in ourselves when we're still young. And thank you very much for honoring our invite at the Accounting Girls Show. We hope to see you more often, coming to encourage us, coming to tell us that this business was successful through CTN, that these young people managed to get a job through CTN, and that these young people became a mentor through CTN. Asante sana. And thank you very much, our viewers. Continue following us on our social media platforms. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're also on TikTok, don't forget. My name is Ruth Nyandoya.